get along just fine here on our own. Would you offer it another money mind? Oh, you wanna rob me blind? Well, I don't know this time. Oh, don't want it just to lie. Don't wanna feed the fire. Tell me what to do. Yeah. Been listening to my heart. It's leading me from the dark. Tell me what to choose. Don't want it just to lie. Don't wanna feed the fire. Tell me what to do. Listening to my heart, it's leading me from the dark. Tell me what to choose. Tell me what to choose. You try to keep us down, but we are backing out because the time is now. Screaming till you're breathless, till all the voices drown. But we ain't backing down. Oh, our time is now. Don't want it just to lie. Don't wanna feed the fire. Tell me what to do. Hey, hey. Listening to my heart, it's leading me from the dark. Tell me what to choose. Tell me what to Don't wanna just a liar. Don't wanna feed the fire. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. What to do. Baby, why don't you like me? You never look at me, it hurts me. I'm confused. Baby, why don't you want me? Your eyes, they make me cold, it's haunting. I feel you. Would you like me if I got prettier? I can jog, I'll get my skinnier. I'll take class to be this multi-sport. I'll put out to get your attention. If I try, you're like, don't talk to me. I'm so unapproachable, cynical, emotional. You're so hot, I don't get the game to play. But you're wonderful, cynical, emotional. Emotional, emotional, emotional. We could be happy, but you hate me. You tell your stories, but it ain't me. Yeah, it's on. I wish it was different. And I hate sorry, but it used me till I'm gone. Would you like me if I do what you want? Tell me fast, I'll see if I get that. Hurts so bad to be the saddest one. Hurts so bad, don't want my attention. If I try, you're like, don't talk to me. I'm so miserable, cynical, emotional. You're so hot, I don't get the games you play.
What is... Oh, we got to follow almost immediately. Greetings from lands beyond, everybody. My name is Mark Apollo, and you are the audience. I am joined here by my lovely co-host, Joe. Say hi, Joe.
What's up?
And I'm also joined by two lovely, sexy Star Wars individuals, Mr. Jason Gruss and also Mr. Dominic Nobile. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, how's it going?
Be with you.
Yes, and may the fourth be with you as well, gentlemen. Today is Star Wars Day. Whoa. Oh, look at that. Look at that, Justin. You immediately got timed out.
Why did he get timed out?
He got timed out because he called us daddies.
What?
We got called
no,
daddies.
stop spamming caps.
Yeah, no bad words here, sir. Yes, we are here. The daddies are all here. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys would love to see our faces, don't you think? Let's go on and show everybody our beautiful faces. And it's not totally because I need to adjust the cameras. No, not at all. Oh, actually, just Joe's missing. Okay, cool. We're fine.
Why am
We're
I
fine.
missing? Oh, did Gross take over where I was at?
Yeah, he went ahead and just decided to say no jokes for today.
All right.
So just bear with me.
No personal feelings.
Yeah, just don't feel bad. It's okay, Joe. You can go like, you can put on your clothes because Joe's totally naked right now. He's like, what if I did the podcast in the nude? And I was like, you know, man, you do you, and very soon you will see him in his full prime. So how's everybody doing today?
Doing fantastic.
Doing pretty good. Just finished class.
Oh, it's a big yikes. Everybody could see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, I was doing the podcast section where it's just going in and it's out.
Yeah, we're doing it live. We're doing it live.
That's got to work.
Look at that. Look at that. Yay! We're all here.
Perfect.
So yeah, so we got myself, Marco Polo, obviously. We got Mr. Nobile right underneath me. We got
What's
Mr.
going on?
Ross on that side, and we got Joe underneath him. My camera's inverted, so I have to like keep remembering that like the opposite directions are the opposite way. Did you just dab?
He did.
I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna allow it. Okay, so without further ado, today is Star Wars Day. Even though technically, we were just discussing this earlier. Technically, it's not, right? Is that right, Mr. Nobile?
Yes, that is correct.
So
This is just a play on words.
exactly,
Why does
very similar to
Big
the.
Jake keep getting timed out?
He keeps getting timed out. I don't even know why, because he keeps spamming. I guess I don't even know. He's
Where do
just
you
too
see
excited.
that?
He can't contain himself.
Go
on the chat.
Go on Twitch.
Like it's
Oh.
it's on the chat on the bottom.
Let's see. I think mine's a little
Is
bit
it a
different.
crime
I'm
if
on
you
a
call
phone.
baby I was about to say baby Grogu. If you call Grogu Baby Yoda, yeah, you're gonna get immediately banned from the stream.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, he's right there, by the way. So I forgot to introduce him. He's here. He's
Sorry,
right there.
Baby Yoda actually has a name. For the people that don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Finally.
His name is
It's
Dawson, right?
It's Grogery. That's his
Yeah,
real
it's
name.
Jonathan.
It's Grogery. Whoa, strong
Whoa.
feelings today.
He's just
Yeah,
a
so-
kid, man. That's
We'll
like
get to that
300
in
years
a little
old.
He's not allowed to see
Whoa.
that.
He said, "Fuck them kids."
You know, he's
He was-
probably like
okay, he was-
he's probably like 50, honestly. Oh, you want me to position him right there so you could just line it up?
Sure.
I mean, he's been around since Revenge of the Sith, supposedly from Ahsoka.
Yeah. Supposedly.
He's seen some shit. Look at those eyes.
Got PTSD.
Was that mean
Yeah.
he's the youngling who survived?
Supposedly, I would presume.
So
That's
he,
fucked.
why did he live?
Because plot armor.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
he's got
very
that main
true.
character protection.
But he has no spiky hair.
Now that would be pretty weird.
That'd be-
No,
Yeah,
next
it
season
depends.
you're gonna see him go Super Saiyan.
Oh god.
He's like, use the force, and all of a sudden he's gonna like literally just start glowing and then just grow hair. He'd be the only other Yoda species to actually grow hair that are not just
Wait.
tiny little
No,
tiny
no, no,
little
no.
pubes
He,
on top of his head.
he wouldn't go Super
Except
Saiyan.
Seattle. I know,
He's
she
Piccolo.
Yeah, he's
Piccolo.
Piccolo.
had Piccolo.
Yeah, that shroud that he's wearing actually weighs 300 pounds. It's only just weighing him down.
Yeah.
What if he
Alright,
like?
get
What if he takes it off and he's been like kneeling down this whole time and he just stands up and he just like absolutely flexes like a 16
Like the
pack.
Doge
not
meme
even-
where it's like a ripped ass dog with like the 6-pack and everything.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
stands up, takes off the cloak, and he's like, "Duh, duh," and he just shows
So
up
it's-
and he just like breaks the dude in half.
So it's like every other old man in anime where they just look weak, and when they just undress themselves, they're fucking ripped.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bring back Yaddle. Who's?
No,
Oh
it's
no. I think
Wait,
it's a
what?
thing, and I just potentially messed up. What's Yaddle?
She was in the Phantom Menace. No, she wasn't in Attack of the Clones, but yeah, she's in the back. She's basically Yoda with hair.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
The connection
Yeah,
to
very
ET.
minor character. Yaddle.
Connection to
Yeah,
ET.
she
There's a
was-
connection to ET.
What's
Fat
that?
boy. No. So would you change the name from being Yoda to Yodo, if it's like opposite? Because it's like, never mind. I'm being stupid. All right.
It's not a feminine or masculine.
You know what? Since
El
we've been so
Yodo, La Yoda.
Yodona, La Yodona,
Oh god.
La Rayona.
Oh,
La
Please no.
Yodona.
yeah.
You know what? I think we need to oh god. I think we need to swap to a more comfortable setting, right, Dom? Don't you think so?
Oh, I think so. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, we got ourselves some tickets at a very nice place accustomed to scum and villainy. So let's go ahead and take a seat, gentlemen. There we go. Oh, Joe's not there again.
Oh, is that
Damn
the
it.
Cantina in Galaxy's Edge?
It could be. It could not be. No, it is. It is Olga's Cantina in Walt Disney World, Florida.
Oh,
I've never
I
been.
thought it was the cantina you built, Mark.
Yeah, I built it literally last night when I was like, we should make a podcast, and I decided, you know what? I'm just
I
gonna
got
build a
Buttload
cantina.
of money just to spend, and I built it by myself.
Yeah, I just used literally. It's like 20% Legos, 30% brick, 60% like newspaper, and like 10% my saliva.
The schematic came from Minecraft.
Exactly. Yeah, I literally copy and pasted it from MinecraftSkins.com. So shout out to MinecraftSkins.com. Real homies over there.
God. The only
Alright.
thing is you missed the spot right here.
Ah no!
Yeah.
It's a little bit dirty
grimy.
too. That's my saliva.
See on
My
the
bad.
ceiling? Yeah, it's okay. We'll forgive you.
Wait,
Joe's-
the beer flights there are $80? What?
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
expensive. Oh, how do you expect? How much do you expect the beer to cost?
I don't know. I just didn't expect it to be $80.
Speaking of cantinas, I have to ask you guys. I know we were all there at the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, but what did you guys think of that one cantina in Hollywood, the actual Scum and Villainy cantina there? What did you guys think of that?
Pretty
I
cool.
personally loved it.
I
Wasn't
actually
that
really
cool?
liked it too.
Like it wasn't like oversaturated with like forcing like you to buy certain stuff just for the name of it.
Right.
Like Olga's Cantina, where like you pay $70 for like a flight of beers, but you get like the tray and the cups themselves.
Right.
But it seems like I'm just like overspending my money just to obtain the memorabilia part of it.
Exactly. How about you,
Yeah, I
Joe?
think so too.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I like the thing where you what is it? You pay to roll a dice, and then they, depending on what you got, is what drink you got. I don't know.
Wasn't I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that night.
Because me and
What did you
Berto did
think
it
about it,
before you
Mark?
guys got there, and then I got like 2 shots. Because that's what
Oh,
the
that's
person
right. Yeah.
the person picked. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, you can just tell too. It has that. You can just tell it was built by fans too. They just look at all the details. It's not the exact copy of the cantina from A New Hope and stuff like that, but you could just tell just the love and the passion that went into that. So I think that's what really you could just tell. It's kind of like a fan project, basically. What did you like about that, Mark?
I just really like as well the immersion of the whole area, because stuff like that you would normally go to amusement parks or just conventions that happen to have their own displays for like specific restaurants, and usually it's a very hard commodity, not only just in California but just LA in general. Like you don't get that quality of like ambience anymore from anywhere that's not usually, like I said, an amusement park or Disneyland. So it was kind of nice, and I actually do follow Kevin Smith's podcast. And I know he does them from there. So I was like, oh, dude, that's the
that's right.
place. Yeah.
Yep. That's
So when I went in there, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, it's the Kevin Smith place. So it was pretty dope. Yeah.
yeah.
And I bought the Super Saiyan drink and I drank it and I was like, it's okay. It's not the best. It's okay. It got the job done a little bit in terms of tanginess.
Yeah. At least it looked cool though. The drinks, that's another thing. They look really neat in there. Just the lighting and
yeah.
everything. Oh yeah. Just a kind of a neat looking neon, almost looking thing. Yeah, that's
Bartenders were dressed as well, which made
What's
it
that?
like more like immersive.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, you can just tell. I don't know. There's something about it. Like in fact, I went to the one at Disneyland too. For some reason, I felt more like that was Star Wars at the Scum and Villainy Cantina than I did at Galaxy's Edge. Just there's something, I don't know. I guess like I said, it's not the most accurate looking, but there's some feeling there. Just it feels like it's a real, like it was actually built not for money. It was built just because fans love it, and that's what was kind of cool about it, So I'm glad they built that. It was only supposed to be a pop-up bar too, and they decided to keep it, for years and years. So hopefully they keep it around.
I think it will be around. I actually passed by the area a couple times recently, and
Yeah.
it looks like it was doing okay. Yeah, and I know Kevin Smith has not done his podcast from there, but he's like actively visiting it, so it's not a dead space completely.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully they get some good business. I think they opened up. I think last month or something like that. So yeah, hopefully they get some revenue back in, and hopefully they keep it alive. That's our job.
All right, so moving on to the nitty gritty, the films. So I believe, in retrospect, obviously, we all grew up watching up the original trilogy and, of course, the prequels. And I believe we're celebrating 40 years, is it, Dom? 40 years?
Last year, yeah, Empire Strikes Back. 40 years old.
years. A beautiful
Wow.
franchise that has been around for so long. And for it to have so many roller coaster drops and yo-yoing back and forth in terms of quality and writing, script, character development, even casting with all the new stuff coming out in Disney. So I come to ask you, gentlemen, what do you guys think of the newer trilogy and moving forward with all the new coming Disney Plus stuff? We'll start with the films first. So starting all the way back in 2015,
All right.
The Force Awakens.
I'll go.
He's been waiting for this moment.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Okay, so as far you're talking just the films. Okay, so I will say there's a handful of things that are good about them. I mean, they're not totally bad. they did have potential. I will say, a lot of it was lost. There's quite a bit of things I could think of that could have been a lot better. One of the things I really wish they would have done was actually have George Lucas involved. I think that really would have brought a lot of quality to the movies. The one thing about that, especially The Force Awakens, the other one's kind of the same thing, but you could just tell this was made by somebody else. I mean, you figure there's so many fan films online. I mean, there's a lot of just people like us that they're so passionate about it and they like to make their own film. But even though you watch them, they don't feel like they are connected to the Star Wars universe. I mean, they're great for what they are, but just you feel like it's a totally different movie. Where I feel like just having the absence of the creator itself, personally, I feel like I was watching that going, and of course the technology is different. It's been 10 years since the last film was made, back in 2005. So you figured, okay, that's going to change. But just there's something, I don't know, maybe I wonder if you guys felt the same way, but something about it, just the way it was just going, I don't know, for some reason I feel like I was watching just a generic sci-fi film with some familiar faces. That was just kind of my take, especially on The Force Awakens. The other one's the same thing, but they did have potential. It was just a shame it, kind of turned out the way it did. But there are a handful of things that are good, in them. But yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, I also feel that same way too. That a lot of the character development felt, at first, it was going nowhere. Starting with The Force Awakens, we were introduced to all these new characters that, in my honest opinion, felt it was kind of like copy and paste, because it felt like there was supposed to be the troubled individual that was supposed to be the rising star. Then we had also, I guess, was supposed to be the acquainted, like, not really sibling, but that sibling rivalry. It's not exactly sibling rivalry between Rey and Finn, but it kind of felt that way at times. Yeah. Except there was, obviously incoherent sexual tension. And I was like, eh? It felt kind of weird. And then obviously the obscureness about Captain Phasma. I felt like she was close to useless, and I felt like, for the most part, Boba Fett kind of was just there. In the original films, I felt like, I guess she was supposed to be like the Boba Fett, I guess, just like this, just this figure that's in the background, but it's supposed to be like very threatening character. It just didn't feel that way. And all of a sudden, kaput, she died, and I was like, oh, that's it? Oh.
Even Boba Fett expanded more than the story because he was a bounty hunter, which gave more in-depth story to the Jabba Hutt bounty hunt kind of payoff scheme. Whereas Captain Phasma was hired to be an officer for the First Order, and she was just killed off just effortlessly. I'm like, oh, that was kind of pointless.
And then my other opposition to is about how I really don't know what they were trying to do with the Solos. Han Solo just felt, I don't know, I felt like they were just waiting to just kill him off. And honestly, I feel like he wasn't the one that should have been, because if anything, he was the one person that felt that most of the times he was just there to kind of just move along, being able to introduce some of the older cast, or at least the older trio, which is Luke, Leia, and Han. So kind of not exactly being the Harry Potter of the group. Well, okay, Chewbacca, C-3PO,
Chewbacca gets
and R2.
plugged. It's one of the few Wookiees that you get to see on screen.
He's probably the most important Wookiee that anybody ever knows. And I kind of cried when we watched The Rise of the Skywalker and he blew up the first time. I was like, no, not him too.
But can we talk about the systematic racism of Wookiees?
Oh gosh.
Oh, God.
It goes more into detail if you played the one Star Wars game by EA that just came out. Because it was about the Empire forging their whole planet for their fuel and burning their trees for fossil fuel. They're enslaving Wookiees on their own planet. It's bro, where's this even going now?
Wookiees are Brazilians, confirmed.
Jeez. Yeah, it's one thing to have politics in Star Wars, but they get that political, it's okay. What kind of message? It's crazy. But
wait, Joe, are you reading the chat?
Yeah, I've been reading it.
All I see in the corner of my eye is Millie Rock and then wieners. Skywalker isn't the only thing that's rising. Whoa.
Mm.
Whoa, I feel that.
Oh.
I feel that.
Jeez.
Do we even give any credit to The Last Jedi at all?
I mean, for the people that don't like, the
Vaughn
prequels,
don't
I
know.
think it makes you appreciate them really. Oh, I mean, I love them since the beginning. I know Gross did, so I mean, all of us, we all did. But I think the people that didn't like the prequels, I think you just realize, okay, this is quality, and this new stuff is crap. I think that's what. I mean, honestly, I think that's the only thing it did right.
Why
So
couldn't the main character in that film, or like the most surprising character, be Jar Jar? You should have just brought him back.
I
He
know.
would have been probably old as hell, but still.
I personally would have loved that, but yeah.
Jar
People
Jar
gonna
was
walk out
actually
the
Snoke all along.
That would funny.
Oh, you said big Jojo this time.
Yay. Also, too much salt on that planet. That was kind of weird. Like, I
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like that was the only purpose, was just to show off, like, hey,
Oh.
we have a lot more technology and money now, so we could put salt on a planet.
Speaking of that whole like scene in Last Jedi, so like if you were to think about it, as I would take when I first saw that movie, the only thing that I saw out of that whole scene is that as powerful as the First Order and the Resistance have become, and like their history and what they have stemmed from, to just be a couple walkers from the First Order to like a little ditch of soldiers fighting on the other side. It's like,
Yeah.
you're telling me that these two sides are controlling the galaxy in terms of power and are fighting for it?
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just like one little camera
Dunk.
shot of just like the entire power of the galaxy right there in that one scene. I'm like, this is like, you're telling me this is what controls the whole Star Wars universe right here. Like, these two teams, just a bunch of sociopaths just like wanting power, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Manda
Yeah.
says Finn should have died.
You know, because he
Yeah,
mentioned
he
Rose
should've
right now, too. Like,
sacrificed.
Rose should have let Finn die. It's like, yes, because I honestly don't even like Rose that much either. I feel like she was just kind of just, like, shoved in there for, like,
Yeah.
half of the movie. And I'm like, wait, who is this person again? Like, I honestly forgot who she was, like, for the most part.
And then she played no part after that. It's like, well, what's the point of making her a main character then?
Yeah.
She played no part
Toys.
after that because she got a lot of hate from the fans, that's why.
She got hate? I thought they hated
Yeah.
that she wasn't a big part of it. After
No,
that.
they did not like her character. I mean, I
Oh,
don't blame them. They didn't like her character. They're just like, she's stupid. She didn't do anything, And I mean, she literally she was there. And yeah, you should see even at toy stores and stuff. If you go to like the toy section, that's the big joke online. If you look, there's always like 5 Rose Ticos hanging on the discount rack. And then you look, oh, Rose Tico, oh, First Order Rose Tico, another Rose Tico. I mean, it's like piled up. It's like you can tell who the fan favorite characters are and who they aren't.
Rose Tico, because it's such high, supply.
Yeah.
They're consistently making them. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna make sure I'm gonna buy a bunch of them, and I'm just gonna give them out at office parties. Just like, here you go, Rose Tico for you, Rose Tico for you. Just like maybe like draw like little mustaches and glasses on them, like office Rose Tico.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons Rose Tico, she's like bald.
J.K. Simmons.
J.J. Jameson Rose Tico. Just little party favors, or just have like a Rose Tico party and just put them all over the tables.
Yeah. I like that idea.
And
And burn the figures after.
they'll make great candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They'll light up your whole room.
That leaves us with episode 9. Episode 9. Just
A
as
lot
Mondo
was
said,
forced in that movie.
Mm.
the Skywalkers was not the only thing rising. So, I liked it. I did like it. But I felt that it was kind of like an I'm sorry movie rather than like, this is the finale. It just kind of felt like they were just saying, you know what? They're throwing the towel and kind of doing it in a nice way. That's how I felt that film was, like, displayed, rather. What do you guys think?
I agree.
No, I agree as well.
Because we all went to go see it, and all of us were like quiet, like almost the entire time. Like, yeah, people got excited. I mean, it's nothing the same as when people went to go see Endgame. Like that, like people were getting naked, throwing shirts everywhere, and like stuff like that. And meanwhile, like
You were getting
this one,
proposed while watching Endgame. Shit.
exactly, like people were getting like absolutely riled up for that, over beating up Grimace from McDonald's. Meanwhile, over here, like probably the most like longest standing film franchise, because these weren't even comic books, because Marvel has an outstanding comic history and has characters changed and different emotions developed between different age groups, but Star Wars has remained the same for all these years. So many different people have like acclaimed together as fans, so for them to say I'm sorry like in this matter, like it was nice, but like I felt that I didn't feel like they tried hard enough, despite it felt like it was a situation where they should have tried harder. Yeah, you know.
They showed weakness.
Yes. But honestly, I remember thinking about that because I think it was the months leading up to it, because I was reading leaks. Like I knew what was going to happen. I just want to see what a dumpster fire was going to be.
Yeah.
And I remember going like, okay, now that I know what's going to happen, I'm thinking, okay, what could they do that wouldn't make me mad? Or at least be satisfied, honestly.
Yeah.
Even if they brought Anakin back or something, that's the only iffy thing that I would have got like a smirk on my face or something like that. But honestly, there's nothing they could have done, because they went, you think about it, how they started with 7, they went in the same order as the original trilogy, just the themes and just what happens, just a lot of in different order, but still in a way, it's just the same plot structure. So they had to end, okay, you figure the First Order's got to get defeated. Kylo Ren's probably going to die. Rey's going to come on top. So you kind of knew what was going to happen. It's just how. And it was kind of just like, okay, it's very predictable. And how they did it was like, it was just like, it. Again, if you look, and I think that's what it is. Like, if you look at it just on its own, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good visuals in it. There's a lot of things. If you just look at it, not even paying attention to the story, which with Star Wars films, you kind of can't do that. I mean, you're usually looking for story, just, okay, how does this connect to something? Yeah, it's going to be, I'm sure it's entertaining. It can be, just like the whole trilogy. I mean, it can be entertaining in isolation, but you look back at how it ties into everything, you're like, okay, this makes no sense. This is just out of nowhere. It's just like, it's one of those films you have to either watch just by itself, or if you're connected to the other 6, it's gonna look pretty bad,
Yeah, it just kind of, at some point, it kind of just felt like it was just cameo after cameo. It's like, yeah, we had that in, for example, Marvel movies, where we had multiple cameos throughout multiple films, and that one gave more substance because these were characters that were being introduced and fleshed out. So if, for example, we had older characters from the older films come out, and it's like, okay, but what are they adding? Like, what's the purpose of them being there? And how is this relating to what's going on at the moment with the newer characters? Because if you're just slapping them in there for the sake of slapping them in there, then you're losing substance from the actual story. So it's like if having all these Marvel movies and expecting people to like cry and go like ape shit whenever Stan Lee comes out on camera, it's like, okay, so are you watching it for the Stan Lee cameo, or are you watching it for the actual film? So I felt like I was not really getting much, because I remember multiple times you were saying like, oh, that was that one character, that's that one guy, like the one guy that was in the ship.
Who was that? It's Ewan McGregor's uncle in real life. What's his name? Gosh, I think that's Wedge, I want to say.
Yeah, like he was there, but I was like, okay, cool. And people were getting excited. I was like, okay, what?
Like,
what now? Like, cool, he's there. Now, what now? Like, I was kind of expecting more. And then, of course, I think I was just relating it too much to like the Marvel movies, just because of the way they're set up.
Right.
I feel like they kind of copy and pasted it, because that whole scene where Rey's on the floor, and then all of a sudden she gets all of these like spiritual messages from the older Jedi, from the past Jedi. I'm like, it kind of felt to me, it was kind of like when all the heroes came together and then they fought Thanos. I was like, that's kind of what it felt like to me. I was just like it kind of would have been more meaningful if the Force Ghosts were kind of there, at least. I mean, that's what I thought. Like, if you're gonna go that route, at least put a little bit more effort and put into. I mean, they got Hayden Christensen to come back and actually say, like, they got these actors to say stuff, and also voice actors from the shows. Like, that part was actually really cool to me, because I've never seen the shows, And I've always told myself I'm going to watch it, but it's just so much. But I have no excuse. I need to find more. I need to actually make time for it because I want to know more. Because for these characters to get that honorary mention and actually put into the story shows just how important they are. So I felt like it would have been better to honor them even more by actually putting a physical appearance of them. So having like Ahsoka come out in The Mandalorian, I feel like that is a good start, but they could have just immediately fleshed it out more if they're going to put it into the ending of the actual saga itself, where everything is revolving. Would you guys consider everything is revolving around Skywalkers? I feel like it's just they're like a problematic family, but
started
it's
off
really like
everything
going on around them.
About Skywalker though.
What's that?
Like it originally started off to be the Skywalker story, and like it was George Lucas's intention that since we got to see who Darth Vader was, that he wanted to do a deeper dive on like what became of this menacing villain wearing this black armor.
Let me
like,
just show you how fucked up this family is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
basically. He wanted to like express like how his like past has made him to the person that he has become, that he was this gifted chosen one to be the leader of the Jedi Order and bring peace to the galaxy. But then he
Say the
threw
line,
that
Gross.
all away just because he wanted to be with Padme.
Say the
And
line,
then-
Gross.
What? What line?
You were the chosen one. Say it.
Oh no.
He threw it all away because he was horny.
You're the chosen one, Anakin. I fucked you.
I hate you.
No. I tickled your anus.
You know, they really missed an opportunity for Samuel L. Jackson as a Force Ghost to come out and say, "Use the Force, motherfucker."
For real.
It's just amazing. How
They
Samuel
could have
Jackson
slipped
also-
one F word in Revenge of the Sith,
That's
and it would have been fucking Anakin to Obi-Wan. Like, you're the chosen one, Anakin. I loved you. Fuck you.
Or when he's crawling up from the magma, he's crawling up after like his legs are burning off, just go, fuck. Honestly, that kind of made me like, you know what, man, I felt kind of bad because he was crawling up and then Obi-Wan's like he literally just walks up and just goes, this is not yours anymore. He just walks away with the lightsaber. I'm like, don't even let him cut off his own limbs and like survive. I was like, dang, that kind of sucks. Would that be instant cauterization?
Yeah.
See this? You can't have.
Yeah, but then the magma is like eating away at his flesh still, because it's still burning him until it.
Unless he stop, dropped, and roll. Can he even stop, drop, and roll? He was kind of just like a bitten off broccoli at that point.
He was on like hot coals basically on like the beach of magma, and like surely like Obi-Wan's hand would have been like fuck like when he grabbed the lightsaber.
I like how
would've been
that whole
second
scene.
that would have been the second F word.
I like how it happened was just this
Like,
long
still too
battle,
hot.
and all it took was Anakin to come in and flip, and then Obi was just like, no.
Literally, yeah.
Oh, Anakin, I have the high ground.
He kind of just literally stood there. He was like, bet you won't. Like a ring of fire. He's like, bet you won't. And then Anakin's
He
like,
had
bet I fucking will. And then he just jumps and he's like, kind of got his nard sliced in half. And he's just like, ah. And he just falls.
Oh god.
But it was probably the greatest fight scene we've ever saw in the entire franchise. Would you guys?
Oh.
Which was the best
Hands
fight scene?
I have.
That one by far is my favorite. It was so like perfectly choreographed, and like the weeks that Ewan McGregor and
Oh wait,
Hayden
no,
Christensen, when they like they're actually training for that fight scene. Like Ewan McGregor, like even since like the Phantom Menace, like he took like this role very seriously. That he wanted like the choreography wanted to be like full on legit. Like you gotta be in this position, and like it's gotta be authentic to actual like saber fighting,
the
because
one
it's like an
Darth
art form in a way.
A lot
yeah.
of a lot of the actors took these roles kind of awkwardly at the beginning, because Mark Hamill was probably the only one who took it seriously, because he kind of felt he was out of place because he was the youngest actor from everyone there. And then when the prequels came out, just because the films have been so impactful, literally every single actor was like, oh my god, I'm now going to be immortalized. Even though some people didn't have any faith in George Lucas when he was going to make the prequels, but at least for the most part, Liam Neeson was like super happy. And he made a movie like a couple of years beforehand, and it was called Old Boy Roy, and it was a pretty good movie that involved a lot of sword fighting, and like he spent months training, like just to actually sword fight, and it was pretty dope. And like I remember there was like set pictures where he was all bruised up from actually getting clanged on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. And he took what he learned from there, and he kind of like emphasized that each person should have their own fighting style, because before then, like Mark Hamill was the only one who jumped around, because Darth Vader didn't jump around, and obviously Palpatine was just like an orange slice that just sat there, and then he just got thrown at some point. So Mark Hamill was the only one who jumped around.
980 spin he did. Like that was like when I saw that, when I first saw that, I was like, whoa, this guy got the moves. It's like, yo, dog, we in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, so then when Liam Neeson came around to be Qui-Gon, which probably is my most favorite character, because I feel like he's severely underrated.
Oh,
so, yeah. So he essentially was telling Ewan, like, we need to make a fighting style, and then obviously Ray Parker was involved in this, and he was just like, you know, doing all his mumbo jumbo fancy flipping and shit, and he was helping everybody like learn that stuff too. It was just really funny to see Liam Neeson wearing a headband with like long hair and wearing like jeans and tennis shoes, and just like he looked like Scott Pilgrim. It was kind of funny.
Was it Ray Parker's idea to do the double-ended saber for Maul's character?
Yes, a lot of things that were made for, at least for the prequels, that set forward a lot of, like, the prequels kind of set this Bible. So essentially the older films, they kind of laid out the land, but the prequels set the law, because a lot of things that were established in the prequels really carried on forward, because the prequels kind of kicked off the series, the TV shows, and all these comics as well, that kind of bled into the older films. So people kind of shit on the prequels, but in reality, like, the prequels are important as hell, especially when it comes to how everything revolves around the Skywalkers, such as you guys said, and how important it is that our protagonist Anakin came to be who he was. And a lot of these actors really set forward like the law of how this is all coming to be, similar to how all the Marvel actors are putting together how the characters are going to look like and act like. So, and it was pretty cool seeing that, like, something that we know now with like lightsaber colors meaning something, because like we know that from a while back from different lightsabers establishing for the prequels, and obviously the TV shows give us more. I believe the reason why there's a yellow lightsaber is for the Sentinels, and I believe, how do you feel about that, Gross? Rey taking on a Sentinel lightsaber at the end.
I mean, director's choice. That's my personal opinion about it, because she's trying to be like the neutral character of being like, not because she is like our Palpatine, but she identifies as a Skywalker in the end.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so what? Oh my God, they could have just literally finished that entire movie with it being Kylo, because he's an actual Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just having Rey be like, okay, guys, I sexually identify as a Skywalker now.
Yeah. And having the different lightsaber colors stems back to, believe it or not, to Samuel L. Jackson. Because in the behind the scenes,
he wanted purple.
Yeah, he wanted purple. And I remember he was talking to George Lucas, and he's like, so what are the odds of getting purple as a lightsaber? And he was like, usually good guys have blue and green, and bad guys have red. And he's like, so no purple? And he's like, I guess we could do purple. And then he just smiles.
Daisy Ridley's decision to get yellow?
Speaking about Daisy Ridley right now, if you guys are listening to the stream, I have music playing, and right now Ray's theme just came on when you asked about her, so it was kind of funny.
That's a trip.
I think I had the feeling it was kind of a mutual decision. Oh yeah, Gross is force sensitive, feels it in his nuts.
Bad feeling about this.
I have the feeling it was probably a mutual decision between Daisy Ridley and maybe the directors, because I know the actors have a lot of say in their characters, at least in these newer films. That's how Hollywood is working nowadays. The actors have a lot of say now, which is crazy because we went from golden age of Hollywood in the 1940s and 50s where actors were a pain in the ass because they controlled a lot. Then it stopped, and then now it's coming back to that because social media is so impactful on people's like views on society.
Playing one character.
Yeah.
Like the importance of like an actor playing a specific role.
Exactly. So like different status quo, they have to follow the status quo. So majority of the times, like letting the actor and their agency kind of just bleed into the actual content and stuff that they're creating is impacted by, you know, this doesn't look good for me, I need to not do this. Because I think the only person who has not cared about this, like Leonardo DiCaprio with his character in Django Unchained, because yeah, his character was quite the doozy, and he gave no shits about that. And I mean, him
or
being
when
That's awesome.
Robert Downey Jr. did blackface in Tropic Thunder.
That's different though.
He has the blanket
He was
comedy.
making
yeah.
he was making fun of people who do that. He wasn't doing it to.
It's just a dude playing another dude. That's all he was. That's all that he was. So yeah, I feel like it was Daisy Ridley's decision along with the directors to kind of do that, because it could be possible the director said like, you know what, there's these characters called the Sentinels and they're supposed to be guardians. Because I forgive me if I troll in the Force, they don't side with the Jedi, but at the same time they protect the sanctity of the law, right?
Yeah, so mainly what Sentinels are, like if you were to watch Rebels, they have like guards. There's a scene where the main character, like he has like a Force like vision of going into the Jedi Temple, and there's the Jedi Temple guards with yellow sabers defending it, but they're there to defend like the sacred texts of like the holocrons, like the sacred religion of what it is to be a Jedi, but they're not there to like fight or anything.
Yeah, so they're like the Swiss guard for, let's say, the Pope. So they're not exactly protecting the Pope, they're just protecting the Vatican.
Yeah.
Alright, the sacred text!
Yeah, they
My
worship
favorite meme.
they worship the, I would say, like in a Bible, like they worship the actual like speech of like the influence of like being a Jedi, more so than like they don't care where it goes. They just want to defend it.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, speaking of Jedi, following on Dominic's post earlier on Instagram, follow him at Dominator Nobile. And
Also,
Gross. It's on our Instagram story, so you guys can check that out on our up there. We have our Instagram handle up there. You guys can check out these two guys that are with us today, and you can also check out Gross on Twitch as well. He goes by Rogue. Is it Rogue Pepsi Jedi still?
I'm trying to change it back to JG. So I'm gonna be streaming in the summer though, but I'm on hiatus for school. So.
We'll
Also,
follow me on
say
Instagram.
one thing.
Yeah, we'll be posting that on our socials, and it's also there on our Instagram story if you follow our Instagram. Yes, sir.
Yes, I also have another page. That's my private page. I'm actually starting one. I haven't posted content on there yet, but I'm doing my own separate cosplay page. It's Darth Dominator. It's all one word. So yeah, I'm going to be starting posting stuff there pretty soon. I'll be putting just progress of doing my cosplays. I'm updating all of them. So I'll be posting very shortly on there. So if you want to follow up.
Yeah, Dominic is an avid cosplayer in the Star Wars community. He's pretty well known, and he's actually getting there. So, he's like, are you still trying to go for 501st?
Yes, that's my goal. Hopefully the highest, the rank. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to see that. So, yeah, I just gotta take my time with it. In the past, I would rush things, so I've learned my lessons just over the years. So I'm really just taking my time, doing my research, and yeah, hopefully I'll have my three dream costumes I've always wanted. So. Yeah,
that is amazing, and we can't wait to when you look back and you started here just thinking about it as an idea and blossoming into this amazing individual in social media, an influence to people of Star Wars everywhere, and just overall geek media in general. So with that being said, going back from talking about Jedis and also with your favorite being the Sith for one specific character, what are your guys' what are your guys' positions on if you were to choose a side? Would you choose the light side or the dark side?
Rogue.
Well, if you had to choose one, what would you pick?
Depending on the time period. If we're talking about like the golden age of like the Republic, like Knights of the Old Republic era, then I would be a Sith because they were hella overpowered in that time era. But Sith now is like kind of like they're weak. Like they
You
don't
talking
really.
sequel trilogy? Like
Yeah, sequel.
Jedi in
Yeah.
the streets, Sith in the
in the
sheets.
sheets.
You got the razzle dazzle fingers. Goddamn. Timimi.
We're about to do it.
And we got a Timimi in the chat. Everybody, Timimi. This is just a personal thing. Sorry.
Houdini.
Combine Utini with Timimi. Be like Utimimi.
Big J
You
would
should have a
choose.
Background
soundbite
to
of
the-
that ready.
Big J would
Back-
choose background civilian getting blasted by the crossfire.
Big J would choose the 6'3" Ewok.
He's just the one huge Ewok. He's not. He's just the tree.
We know him. He's called Justin Morales.
Or a 6'3" Jawa. Just a
Yeah.
big guy with a brown cloak and just yellow eyes. Just like,
I've been bugging him to make that costume for years. He needs to make that. If you're
What?
watching, Justin, please make that costume. The 6'3" Jawa.
that would be
Huge
hilarious.
I
That
seriously,
was like
I would.
that was like the funniest thing I ever saw once. I went to a convention once, and there were these kids dressed as Jawas, and they had like a little wagon, and they literally started taking stuff from people. They literally started
That's awesome.
stealing stuff from people and putting them into the
That's so
wagon.
cool.
And people weren't saying anything because they were Jawas. So I was just like, what the hell? Like they literally grabbed my wallet. Like I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I didn't even
They
stop.
took my
I was just like-
hubcap.
yeah, like they
They took my spare tire.
they took my social security card. Oh, it's a Jawa. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. You make your kids walk around a house in Jawa costumes? Yeah. They took my hubcap. Yeah, exactly. Then they
Yeah.
take your car keys, and they take your blood type, and then, you know, assume your identity.
Yeah. Take over your social media.
That would suck. Jawas
Yeah.
are mean.
I want to see them with their hoods off.
Oh
Watch
yeah.
them, they all look like, just like, what if they're a bunch of Grogus?
Oh god.
Just a bunch of midichlorians. Would you call them midichlorians?
Which?
Well, because like they have the most midichlorians aside from obviously Anakin having the most, more than Master Yoda.
Yes. Wait. You're talking the Jawas have more midichlorians?
No, like the species that is Yoda and Grogu.
Oh.
Because midichlorians
Well, I mean,
is a chemical, right? It's something that's in your body. No, it's something in your blood.
Yeah.
No, it's the
What fuck
mitochondria,
is
the
that?
powerhouse of the cell.
It's the it's the powerhouse of the cell, powerhouse of the Force.
Yeah. It's heroin.
Yeah.
So you telling me that like Anakin was all cracked up as a child?
What? That's
Just
why
like
they
you
use
just got all
crystals.
You just see his
That's
like,
why they-
you just see his face inside the turbine of a pod racer, and he's like, and then he's like Anakin. He's like, yeah, and his his eyes are all swollen.
Now, this is pod racing.
Let me race. I'm like, okay, calm down, dude, calm down. The Skywalkers are a meth family, basically. They're just all born from one crackhead dude.
Turns
Yeah.
out that whole pod racing scene didn't actually happen. It was just Anakin sitting in a fucking box going.
There he is in the Jedi Temple in like one of Master Yoda's chair. Just mimicking the whole fucking thing.
What's all this?
Yoda's like, mind trip he's in, yes.
Hey, don't be taking my heroin. I need to use it later.
That's why
Why-
Yoda talks all fucked up because he had too much.
Why can I
Yeah.
imagine Watto just like sitting on a trash can with like the needle still stuck to his arm, and he's like, ugh, Friday night.
Ooh, where the hookers at? I just want to be here.
No!
Eddie?
Andy, get out of here. We're doing some nutty stuff.
Oh god.
You don't want to see what I do with his nose here.
Oh
Ew!
Okay, new subject.
god. I
No!
can smell where this is going.
No!
I could smell where this is going. Is that what he
You can
said?
smell.
Yeah.
You can fit more coke in this. No! No! This is why the bot is banning you, Justin. This is why.
Thank God this is 18 plus.
Yeah,
Sorry for any younglings watching.
I'm
Oh, by the
about to go to
way,
Walmart pick up
watch
some
your
death
back,
sticks.
Death sticks.
Yeah. If there's any younglings watching, just watch your back, okay? We might slay you.
They just turn around. They just see Anakin. They're like,
Yeah.
oh no.
What are we going to do?
How would you feel as a child? What if you were like to dress up as Anakin and just show up to every single like not talent show but like career day?
I would do it.
Just show up to like. Would that be reverse symbolism then? So does that mean if you're in, let's say, the hospital, you don't want Anakin to show up?
Yeah.
That'd be funny in like in a setting where okay, you come to career day dressed as that, and all the kids like, "What's this?" And there's that one kid who actually was educated correctly on Star Wars. He's like, "No!"
He just runs out. Run while you.
He runs out of the classroom.
Run while you still can.
He like throws the desk at you. He just jumps out the window. He's like, "Not today, Sith."
We're prepared for school shooters, not Jedis.
Yeah.
America, am I right?
Oh my god.
Why do you guys keep talking about Watto? Stop. We're done talking about Watto. We're done. We had enough
What
Watto
are
for today.
we?
No. Spaghetti?
We can bring it back anytime.
I want spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I saw someone made a spaghetti like dish out of like they made like meatloaf, but they made it into the body of a tauntaun and they had like spaghetti coming out of it. I was like, spaghetti, because you know when Han sliced open the tauntaun, put Luke in there to like stay warm, which is crazy because I'm like, okay, how did Han not freeze them?
Yeah. Well, the tauntaun's body's actually lukewarm. If you didn't notice that. You just got that, didn't you?
What happened to that Yeti? I wonder what happened to the Yeti. Do you think he's fine?
No.
Probably got a prosthetic now. Oh.
Damn. Do you think it's cool as like Luke's though? Also, like, what happens if it gets wet?
Yeah, I mean he's in the snow. It's bound to get wet. Yeah, and he's got to keep getting new ones. My question is, what doctor is he going to? Yeah, what doctor is he going to on an ice planet? That's my next question.
It's just natural remedies. He just jams.
Sorry, there's no available healthcare on Hoth.
Just grow another one.
Just grow another prosthetic limb. Just like I will use the Force to mend rubber and make plastic.
Oh, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Rey can do that in the next comic or something.
Oh my god,
she can make things out of. She can make plastic stuff now.
The healing.
She's a 3D printer.
Force recycle.
She's a 3D printer. She force recycle. She just takes a bottle and she's like, "Oh, I have no money to buy this drink." She just like grabs a bottle.
Yeah.
She just grabs and crushes it, and it just turns into money.
I just got 2 cents for this can.
Like, give me all your cans. I was like, all right, lady. Jeez, you know you could just ask for like an open bill, but all right.
Oh boy, yeah, she'll know how to do everything in a few years.
Oh, talking about mechanical things and also lightsabers, I just saw this earlier on TikTok. They are making a retractable lightsaber.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What do you mean, like an FX or like a legit?
Like literally the lightsaber. First off, the lightsaber hilt looks actually pretty good. Like it looks like an actual lightsaber hilt. So none of that cheap plastic stuff that you usually see. And like you press the button, obviously, and the lightsaber actually comes out, and it goes back in. Yeah, that was pretty dope. And the actual
blueprint. Yeah, I guess it's a wound up LED strip. I guess it starts out all wound up, so the thing goes up and it kind of unwinds. The thing kind of goes up here and then it comes back down. So it's kind of a string, basically. That's what, from what I read, that's what they're doing.
And because I've seen, obviously, you guys have all seen different types of lightsabers and different companies that make these lightsabers.
Yes.
And they're supposedly, Disney always had the most crappiest one, but their sounds were better.
Yeah.
So now they're actually putting the work in, and the lights are actually as good as the more expensive ones. So I can only imagine that those retractable lightsabers are probably going to cost at least a good half of your body in terms of money.
Oh yeah.
There's no way they're going to cost less than $300. There's just no way.
there's like some really good replicas that cost like well over $1,000.
Oh yeah.
Like if you want
Neo
like something
pixels?
that's like movie prop accurate, like an Anakin lightsaber,
Yeah.
like roughly costs like 1,500.
Oh yeah. Fully installed, yeah, that's easy. I mean, it could be at least quite a few $100s. They're if you do it yourself, it's cheaper. But yeah, if you buy it installed from somebody, they're NeoPixels they're called. Those things are like
Yeah.
I'm
I've
actually
heard about
trying
those.
to build one right now. But yeah, they're pretty. The only thing is, if they can do the retractable thing, that would be amazing. They got the animation of it going up and down, but if they do that on there, that would just be. I mean, there would be no competition. I mean, that would just be. Hopefully, some people, because I think honestly, in my opinion, I think the retractable ones are going to do. The one problem I will say with the Force FX lightsabers, their LEDs are so dim. They really got to step it up because NeoPixels, man, they're so bright. It's almost like too bright sometimes. But I think if they really step up the brightness, I think it'll look a lot better. Because if you go in the light, like if you're just like on a day like this, it's going to look very, very faded. So it's kind of just, if they really get it bright, that could look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we should all go and just like sit there and be like, nice a new pixel. just like be like all picky. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Or just like bring like a really cheap Disney one and then just break it in half. Be like,
Yeah.
Can I get like an exchange? What else was I gonna mention?
Like I want to get a NeoPixel like really badly, and like, how about this, Dom? Next May 4th, how about we do a fucking lightsaber duel?
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
down
do
for
that.
that.
Catch us back next year doing a live lightsaber battle.
How about we do it by the water tower where I live, like up at the peak
Oh, heck
of
yeah.
the city where I live?
Dude.
That would be like epic.
We should
We'll have
totally
to have
just
like
think-
we'll have to have like a team, like the light side versus the dark side.
Oh,
And
heck
then,
yeah.
like, what if someone just showed up and was like, okay, hear me out. What about a blaster battle?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's
Actually, pretty cool. Like laser tag, but it's blasters.
They should do that. I mean, that would be a great moneymaker. I mean, people would totally be down for that. I mean, just have a theme.
Has there ever been a character that uses blasters and a saber?
Probably right.
General Grievous,
Oh yeah. Yep, that's true.
cheating
Ezra
motherfucker.
from Rebels. His lightsaber actually is a blaster, and
That's
then,
true.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We just got an I love you in the chat. Aw, Justin.
That's it. I'm banning him.
Love you too.
Yeah, that's too intimate for this platform. You can't say stuff like that. There's people that are out here trying to look for love.
want to recreate Luke and the
In all the
Taunt.
right
Let's see between Luke and the Tauntaun. Damn. What if we all did that? Just like 4 guys, 1 Tauntaun.
Oh God.
We'll make it work. We'll fit. Actually, the Tauntaun could fit like naturally 3 people if you really tried. 4 people if like somebody crunches up. That's gonna be you, Joe. You're gonna crunch up,
Oh, God.
and then
I
someone could be
timed
the head.
I timed up Big J. I didn't realize for how long.
God.
Why did you time up BJ?
It's supposed to be 5 seconds. It's supposed to be 5 and it put 600.
Homeboy's not gonna be able to talk for like more than 3 minutes.
Sure, I'll Tino.
There we go. He's gonna be mad at you now. Now he's not gonna say that he loves you.
Justin, if you're still watching, please make that Jawa costume. We need to go to a convention like that.
I would love to go back to WonderCon.
Oh,
WonderCon
I'm
was
down
I love
for that.
you too.
amazing.
Star Wars Celebration, I actually have some extra tickets, but they're doing it in 2022, right? At Anaheim?
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
Really?
so I
Let's all go.
I ordered some extra ones. Yeah, if you guys want to go, I'm trying to remember how we just ordered a bunch just to have it, but what they're doing is nice. It was supposed to be last year. They're transferring over the tickets, so you don't have to do anything with them. I think we bought we bought them to sell. We just bought a ton of them. So yeah, they're gonna be on. So if you guys want to end up going around that time, I think it's is it August? Either April or August of 2022. So if you guys aren't doing anything that day, I'm sure you guys know exactly what you're doing that day. So yeah.
Yeah,
Just
now I
let
know
me
what
know.
I'm doing that day.
I would
Yeah.
love to go. The first time I ever went
Do
to a
you,
Star Wars
Mark?
celebration
Do you?
was back when it was in downtown LA at the LA Convention Center in like 2005 after Revenge of the Sith came out.
Oh, you went to that one?
Yeah, and
Oh
it was
my God.
hardcore, unbelievable, and I was
Wow.
like, I don't know, how old was I? I was like 10, rough.
Probably
I was like 9 years
10,
old.
Yeah.
It was like the most like overwhelming experience, and I just absolutely fell in love with Star Wars after that.
Oh my God, man! You went to a really good one. I mean, Revenge of the Sith. That's awesome to be able to go to that one too. I mean, they've had other ones in the past, but that one, I look back, I wish I could have gone to that one too. You're so lucky you went to that one. What a time to kind of the end of the trilogy. All that.
I remember
that's awesome.
I went to go see Revenge of the Sith in the theaters, and like now, like it wasn't a big deal. But I remember I told people that they were like, "Really?" And I'm like, I guess for the time it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Like to go see it in theaters, because in reality, like seeing all the newer ones, it kind of doesn't feel the same.
No, it really doesn't. They try to overhype it, but for some reason it doesn't feel like as big of a movie. It's weird. It's funny you say that, Mark, because I felt the same way going to these. I would say The Force Awakens maybe, but the other ones no. I mean, definitely you had the crowd and just all that stuff. Even like the Rise of Skywalker, we went, as big a place that was, and just being in Hollywood and all that. Honestly, that did not feel like it was like, wow, this is a just huge event. Revenge of the Sith, I barely remember that. I mean, it was a long time ago, but I mean, I don't think there was a lot of people in our theater when we went the one time. But yeah, there was something about that hype with the prequels. It just seemed way more just like it was like a bigger thing than the stuff now for some reason. I think there's more fans today, which doesn't make sense.
I think the main event of that night that we all went to go see the Rise of Skywalker was the drunk Sonic. That was
yeah.
That made me so happy. It was like, oh my God,
Sonic in real life.
Things. Yeah.
Why didn't Justin pick him up and like throw him across the street?
I know. Why didn't he just beat him up and
could have just wrestled him, Justin? I think you mentioned this in the chat, Justin. Like you even brought it up. Why couldn't you just wrestle him, Justin? Like honestly, just
drunk
one
Sonic.
6 foot hedgehog and one.
I like that he was wearing
bear,
jeans
man.
and everything. He had these big gloves. He's wearing jeans. It's like, oh my God.
I'm disappointed he wasn't saying I'm fast as fuck while just running up and down the street.
and then like all of a sudden from underneath the head you just see something spew out. It's like vomit. He's like, ugh, because he couldn't take that speed.
Do you remember we got home? I don't even remember when we went out there, but do you remember we were watching the news and they said there was some guy on the roof that night?
Yeah, some dude that was gonna jump
Yeah.
out of the building.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what that was.
Yeah, we went back to Dom's place, and I remember his dad turned on the news, and there was like, breaking news. It's like some dude. He was like sitting on the top of the building, like swinging his legs, and he's like about to jump out. Like I'm gonna jump because he couldn't get in. I was like, damn, dude, what the fuck? He was there to
Can I get into the movie?
He was there to buy tickets to go in. Clearly this is like a buy your tickets before kind of thing. So why on earth would you think that you would show up, buy tickets for probably the biggest event, probably that year? Because granted, Endgame was, obviously the biggest Marvel movie ever, and the second highest grossing movie of all time, but that didn't measure up to the legacy that Star Wars has, so much that people were like pre-ordered these tickets like way in advance. I remember Dominic, you got it like the very butt end, like close to where it was almost out.
Yeah, that was probably the most. I mean, every year I did that, it cut pretty close. The first year I remember it was so weird. Remember that one time Fandango like totally crashed, no one got tickets?
Yeah.
They told it. I remember everyone was like, it was at a certain time. I want to say it was like, they said at halftime of Monday Night Football. I remember going one time like, let me just check and see. Maybe it's a little bit early. Like, no joke, 2 hours earlier, I had got tickets for The Force Awakens. Like, no kidding. And the same thing with this. I went a little bit earlier, and it just, I mean, you had to be on it. I mean, I'm so lucky we got as many tickets as we did, because I mean, that place was just like, that's why we got split up too. Like, I want us to be all in one place, but yeah, that place just like boom, everything was just turning gray. It was a battle, but that was all fun. Kind of the part of the fun of it was just normally we wait in line, but kind of just that buying tickets. It was, that was a rush. It was doing that for 5 years. That was a fun time, just looking out for those tickets. And I'm so glad we all were able to go. That was just honestly, that was like one of the most fun times. Honestly, like it didn't even matter how the movies were. I just enjoyed being with you guys just all those 5 years. It was really made it more. Yeah, this is time for
the time that I got in line early for what was it, Rogue One.
Yeah, you saved, man. I was like, I was running late, and like, he was like right there. I was like, thank God somebody's there, because I think everyone else.
Pouring rain that day too.
Oh,
What's that?
yeah.
It was pouring rain that day too, and I got us like right underneath like the awning, right in front of the theater.
Right. Yeah, I felt bad. Those guys. Yeah, we got under the awning, and like later on, they were getting rained out. It's like, oh, that sucks. I think, in fact, that was the last. I think that was the last movie we stayed in line for. I think, because I remember the last. Let's see. Yeah, the Last Jedi. Yeah, all the other ones were reserved because we went to Harkins after that, and then we went to, of course, Grauman's for number 9. But yeah, it's like that's right. That was our last waiting in line. But that was a cool experience in itself. Just sitting there talking about stuff, kind of like what we're doing right now. Just you can talk about anything. Just waiting for it's counting down hour by hour, and just yeah, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that.
You got Dominic having some connection
With
troubles.
Nine fans.
Oh, yeah.
Dominic, but
Yeah.
recorder.
Oh,
Very sure.
It's the dark side
Get
trying
that.
to communicate to the other side. Okay,
Yeah, my
give him a second.
oh, just wait a second.
You're gonna see Novio just not be there. Just he's gonna be bad.
Oh god.
Oh shit! No!
Okay.
Oh!
Disappeared.
Dude, he's gone. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh my god, that was scary.
My back.
I'm gonna need a clip of that.
Yeah.
Justin, clip that, because that was fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
What were we even talking? Oh, just the fun. Wait, am I back? Am I still?
Yeah,
You're back, you're back.
fine now.
You're
Okay.
good now.
I don't know where I left off, but yeah, just saying that was just fun. Just waiting in line. It was a lot of good people to meet and just talk about a lot of interesting stuff. But glad to be back on this.
Yeah, and this is gonna be probably not the only Star Wars podcast. I just thought today was probably the best day to do so. So
Yeah.
be looking forward to having more guests on here. So you guys won't be the only ones, but I wanted to make sure I had two of the most intellectual people that I know in terms of these, star battles in the sky. And
Appreciate
we
you
have plenty of more friends who are more knowledgeable than I am. So that's why I wanted to have you guys, because you guys obviously know a lot more than I do. I only pay attention to
You're pretty
story.
knowledgeable. You're pretty knowledgeable, Mark. I mean, you guys, yeah.
Oh, don't flatter me,
A
please.
lot of stuff you've taught me. No, seriously. There's some stuff you've taught me. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. We all have our different levels of knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
we'll be bringing more
we're
people
all-
on here. I'm going to be trying to be a little bit more consistent with our Donk stuff. So we've been taking a break. So anybody who is a Donk Squad viewer, we apologize. We've been trying to get back on track. I've been busy with a lot of other things, but we're going to try and get the ball rolling. Yeah, there's Vision. So another big thing that we always talk about on our podcast is also Marvel. So we're going to be bringing back Gross to talk about more Marvel stuff, and hopefully Dominic, if you would like to join us from time to time, you are more than welcome to, sir. We're going to have more people coming on, and we're just going to try and grow this community as much as we can, because the Donk Squad is not just a squad, it's also a family. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us today. Any last things that you guys want to ask the crowd or the chat, or is anything the chat wants to ask the panel? Do you
with the
cry
chat
for
would
me?
like-
Yeah, don't cry for me. Yeah, don't cry
Tune
for
in
me.
for the Bad Batch that airs today.
Oh, that's right.
But if you missed on watching the Clone Wars, then I would say you could just watch episode 3 and then watch the final season of the Clone Wars, and then you could continue right for Bad Batch.
What is the Bad Batch? Like, for people who don't know.
Bad Batch is so they got introduced in the final season of the Clone Wars, and I think it's season 7 of the Clone Wars, where it like simultaneously takes place during Revenge of the Sith. So the Bad Batch is just like a couple clones and Echo, who is like a main character out of the main like clones like of the 501st Legion, who was under Anakin's reign. So the story is taking place where it's literally the day after Revenge of the Sith. Like, what happened to all the clones, and what happened to the transition from the Republic to the Empire.
Yeah.
And it's because like there's a big story about the Kaminoans. They actually wage a war against the Empire, forging their own army of clone troopers to fight their own clone troopers. And that's what transitioned the Empire to use actual hiring people instead of relying on clones. And the Bad Batch is just like this like unique every character is unique. Like you have like the big strong guy, you have the smart guy, you have the sniper, and you have like the leader who's like force sensitive as a clone trooper, which is pretty unique. And then you have Echo who like lost his arm in the show, and he's like the tech. So there's like a little bit of identity for everyone. It's gonna be a good show. I'm gonna enjoy it. I know that for a fact because I absolutely
really cool.
love the Clone Wars.
Would that be something that people can watch without having any backstory? Or would that be something that people would need to watch, you feel like, to understand a little bit more?
If you do have knowledge of Star Wars, you could honestly just watch episode 2, and that will probably only be the backstory that you would need, because they did come out with a Clone Wars movie, which was supposed to introduce the show. You can honestly just skip that movie. Just watch episode 1 all the way through. It's pretty just simple, because it goes like more in depth of like every character involved, like Count Dooku, Boba Fett, Jango Fett, the conspiracy of how Palpatine got clones to be in charge of the Republic itself, like the main military. Like it's like a big deep dive of like more concrete information of what we missed out in the movies.
Oh, cool. We got someone thing in the chat.
Interesting.
Dom, can we kiss at the cantina?
What's that?
Big Jace asked if you can kiss at the cantina.
Kiss at the cantina? Sure.
You gotta find yourself
go in the
a
back.
little booth in the corner. Not here. This booth was already reserved, so you have to go find a corner. Maybe next to the restroom.
I'll reserve that table for us.
We got I like your bracelets. Oh, thank you. These were given to me by a special somebody. Also, you might be saying that in specific retrospect for whoever that person is. That's a specific person. Everyone say hi to her. But nothing of Dark Plagueis the Wise. That no. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Darth Plagueis does get mentioned in the Clone Wars if you do watch it though, because he plays a big like role of like because like Yoda was like curious and he went to like a Sith planet, and like they have like a whole mural of Darth Plagueis, and then like his Force ghost goes after Yoda, and like it's like this intense conversation that they both have, and where Yoda sees like a dark version of himself, like on the dark side. It's really awesome. Like 10 out of 10 recommend Clone Wars for anyone who like wants to know more about like the actual Star Wars story.
I do have a question about Padme in the Clone Wars. Does she still have sexy outfits?
No, she's more
sexy
politician.
outfits?
She's more politician, so she's wearing like the whole gown covered up.
Dang it. Modesty.
She went full Hillary Clinton on everybody.
Yeah, she honestly did. And the Clone Wars
She went
just
donut
straight up
lady.
politics.
Oh god. Jango Fett did not kill himself.
No. How did his head got chopped off, right? Was that it?
Yeah, when dude
Okay.
That's
said
what they
"Eat"
say.
to his head.
Okay, so can you imagine Boba like did he have to take his dad's head out just like yank it out like a spoiled egg in an eggshell?
Spoiled egg?
A spoiled
Why is that
Like one of those, what are those eggs called from like the Philippines where it's like still part chicken in them? Where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like one of those.
Yeah, with the
What?
yeah, it's like a there's
It's like a delicacy.
Kind of a half-grown chicken in there or chick.
modest and moldy. Balloon, is
that
that what it's called?
Cousin of Bold and Brash?
Balloon
so
he
that's-
had it in Vietnam.
Old.
That doesn't sound like a Filipino thing. Or strictly, I should say.
Okay, Justin, can you like make those and like can you decorate it to look like?
Oh, it is
Jango
Filipino.
Fett's face?
Oh,
We got to get him on this
So
podcast. I'd like to hear his perspective of a first-time Star Wars fan just taking
yeah,
it all
Filipino
in.
thing, never mind.
He's not gonna be
Yeah.
like lightsaber shiny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure he'll remember. Him and Joey were at my house for 2 Fridays. I was trying to catch him up for The Force Awakens. We were up for, I think we started at 6. We didn't get done like both nights until like 2 or 3 in the morning. We watched the prequels first, one Friday, and then the original trilogy the other. But oh yeah, those were some. There's
a YouTube video. There's a YouTube video where it simultaneously plays all 6 movies on one
Yeah.
screen.
Do you remember us?
You can watch that.
Remember That was
you'll be
fun.
caught up in no time. I'm gonna do that for my friends. I'm gonna be like, okay, you need to catch up. Watch this. Just all the movies just in one.
Yeah.
It's great. You should do that for all the Marvel movies. You probably have an
Jeez,
aneurysm
20
from that.
What was it, like 27 movies or something like that?
Yeah, it's roughly 32.
32. Wow. Jeez. Yeah, that's a tiny square for each one.
You just have to like put your head onto the actual screen and just like soak it all in.
Gotta be good at
Purple
multitasking
Man
too.
bad. That's for the entire face. Purple Man bad. Grimace not so nice. His chicken nuggets are not good. What else was I gonna mention? Oh yeah, we should catch you up on Marvel, Dom, because I want to talk to you more about Marvel stuff too.
Okay. I gotta kind of get educated in that department. I'm
because the Disney Plus franchises right now for Marvel, WandaVision good. It could have. I felt like it left me wanting more, but it was good. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I absolutely love. It took a while to get where it's.
I'm on the
supposed to be
last
right
episode
now.
right now.
It's pretty good. It's worth sitting through each hour-long episode. As people complained about each episode being an hour long, but I'm like, do you guys not realize that a lot of Netflix shows are becoming that long now? Basically, each episode is basically a film.
It's like almost an hour. It's like almost a movie in a sense. Like you're
Yeah.
getting like a series of movies.
I wanted WandaVision episodes to be longer.
Yeah, I mean,
WandaVision was amazing.
You figure HBO, that's been going on for years. I mean, they've all been roughly, 50 minutes to an hour.
Each
I mean,
Soprano
kinda weird to complain
episode
about
was
that.
basically a movie. I didn't even watch Sopranos, but I watched 20 minutes, and I saw more in 20 minutes of The Sopranos that I would ever see in like a movie, because they just
I
jammed
just
so
finished
much
that. That
stuff
was
in there.
so good. Oh, that series is so good. I just
The
finished
Sopranos?
watching it. Yeah.
Is
Just
it good?
finally, after all these years, it's really good. Especially just appreciating the Italian culture and just the stuff they say. There's a lot of stuff going, oh, okay, I've heard that term before. It's hilarious, and it's funny. Not a lot happens, but there's something about it that's just really, it's just really, I don't know. It's a really good show. It's like I was expecting it to be just a kill fest, like everybody just shooting at each other. But honestly, it wasn't a lot going on. It's a story of a family, basically just like kind of everyday stuff. But there's something about it. It's really good and entertaining. And it's hilarious too. It's so the time,
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
cool.
they say they make fun of everybody. That's what's funny. It's like
Yeah.
it just makes you miss that type of humor, from back in the day.
Dom getting the Italian vaccine, straight up marinara and pesto.
Yeah. The side effects are you smell very nice for 24 hours, but then it kind of wears off. So it's a shame.
Got a very
Can you
garlic
imagine having,
scent. Good.
Nice and garlicky. You're basically walking garlic bread.
Fun fact, garlic is a natural vaccine. It does keep you healthy.
Okay, so you're telling me right now, if I would go to like mince up a bunch of garlic, or even just get garlic powder, mix it with water, and just like inject that into myself, I'll basically become Garlic Man. I'll basically become Wario Man.
You'd
Is that what
basically
you're
get the
telling
shits. You would get the shits.
No sickness will penetrate your body if you eat garlic a day.
Okay, you know what? You heard it here first, folks. I'm going for the first YouTube live that we're gonna do for the Dog Squad. I'm going to inject myself with garlic powder.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh, I kind of want to do
Joe,
that
you're
right
gonna do
now.
it too.
I don't know about that.
And okay, well I'll do garlic powder. You'll do like paprika, and then we'll have Kevin do like just straight up like
Pepper
Opioids.
or
It's like-
sriracha.
all right, I'm gonna be putting garlic powder into my veins. Joe's gonna be doing paprika, and Kevin's gonna be doing heroin. Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Wario. I'm gonna turn to Wario Man, dude. I'm gonna be flying around the goddamn place. I'm gonna be flying. I'm gonna be like, dude, you see me right now? You see me right now? Now I'm all the way in Costa Mesa. It took me only 3 seconds to get there. Go to West Covina. West Covina, that place doesn't exist. West Covina is not real. West Covina is not
Covina.
real. West
Remember, it's
Covina is
left-
not.
Remember, it's the left of Asgard.
It's right next to Asgard. That's how you know it's not real. It takes you forever. That's like, I'm pretty sure West Covina is the afterlife. There's nothing there but ice cream shops and Planned Parenthood. That's all that's there. I'm sorry
Not
to
a
the
good
West
combination.
Covinians out there, but it's not real. It's not a real place.
I didn't realize that there was West Covina and just Covina. I I didn't realize that.
Where's Covina? If there's West Covina.
I forgot because when I went
West Covina.
when I got my dresser from IKEA, I'm like, oh, we're going to West Covina. It's like, and then it's just like, welcome to Covina. I'm like, you mean what? And then I look, I'm like, wait, West is that? Where am I at?
There's no
So it's like,
Covina. South.
no, it's
Covina.
just it's just there's Covina, there's West Covina. I'm like, what the fuck?
North Covina.
North Covina. That sounds cursed. North Covina. South Covina. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the ghetto part of town. South Covina. Ouch. I
Watch
don't
the
wanna
ghetto
go back
part
there
be
again.
like middle Covina.
Center Covina?
It's not even middle Covina. It's just called Midvina. Well,
I think we should take over that land.
Disney Plus shows for Star Wars besides the Bad Batch. What are you guys looking forward to?
Obi-Wan series, Ahsoka
Obi-Wan
series.
Yes.
Obi-Wan is going to make everyone cry. It's gonna make me cry. It's gonna be like the most intense reunite of two main characters from like a big storyline, like duel out, or even
feel
to
like-
just like be there and talk.
Hello there.
Yeah, I feel like the Obi-Wan series is gonna be something similar to what we're seeing with like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like where we're
How so?
seeing like, or it's gonna be like the main stake, where it's like the main. Because I don't feel that Mandalorian's gonna be the main storyline that we're supposed to follow. Because the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a main storyline. WandaVision's happening at the same time, and we're gonna have the What If series, which is not really canonical, but we're also gonna have Hawkeye coming too. And that's gonna be happening at the same time, and we're also
When's
gonna
the
have
Doctor
Miss
Strange?
Marvel.
Doctor
Movie?
Strange coming out. Yeah.
Next year, or in 2 years.
No, next year. We actually got
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well, we'll drop a Marvel minute real quick if you guys are okay with that on our Star Wars Day. We're gonna have. We just had all the official names and dates released yesterday on Marvel Studios' official YouTube channel, and we're gonna be having obviously the first film that's gonna come out is gonna be the Eternals, right?
Black Widow.
Oh, Black Widow's gonna come out first in June.
Even though it shouldn't be a part of Phase 4, it should have been a part of the last phase.
Yeah, it's technically part of the last phase. It's just been delayed for so long. It's insane how it took almost 2 years to come out. But we're gonna have Black Widow, then we're gonna have Eternals, and then we're gonna have Spider-Man, and then we're gonna have
Shang-Chi.
Oh, Shang-Chi, that's right. Which
Shang-Chi, then Spider-Man.
A lot of people are mad that for the casting of Shang-Chi, but I think he's okay. People said that they should have been swapped. That, yeah, it should have been swapped. The villain should have been the protagonist, and the protagonist should have been the villain. Just because the other actor is more popular in Asian countries. I'm like,
The fuck? Okay.
that doesn't really matter. I mean, let the guy have a
Yeah.
chance. Because I mean, I don't know. That's just me.
The other guy's more Asian than the Asian guy.
And then
You're
after-
1% more Asian than I am.
Yeah, so we're having Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, then we're having Spider-Man, and then we're gonna have Doctor Strange, and then we're gonna have
Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and then we're gonna have Ant-Man and the
Thor.
Wasp.
Oh no, Thor. Then Ant-Man and the Wasp is the last one. Thor: Love and Thunder is before.
Oh, Thor: Love and Thunder, then Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then the biggest thing that we all saw, Miss Marvel, and then Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah.
That
yeah.
part really got my taint all like soggy.
That's
I
gonna be
was like-
5 years from now.
Yeah, and I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for that one. And oh my god, why is this playing Pokemon music? I apologize if there's Pokemon music playing right now. I don't know why it's playing Pokemon music. It's playing the Furret song. Get that shit out of here. I'm just gonna leave it there. Looking forward to the Boba Fett as one of the I was about to say Bar Jinx, Jar Jar Binks origins.
I don't know if the Boba Fett series is actually supposed to be like a book series, or if
It's just a side continuation of the Mandalorian. Like think of it as like when it talks about one character, then it moves to a different character, but it's still the same show.
But is it like a film or is it an actual like book series?
No, it's just gonna be another season, but instead the season is gonna follow Boba Fett instead of following Din Djarin. Because basically Din Djarin's
Because
story
Boba Fett,
is
like,
done.
yeah, because like Boba Fett like he's like in charge of like the whole bounty hunter ring on Tatooine, and like he's the king bounty hunter. So it's gonna be like awesome to see like what missions that they're gonna be doing, or like
I think
who you're gonna encounter.
I think the whole point is that they're going to showcase different Mandalorians in each season, which is cool, because now we're going to be seeing Boba Fett. That could be one book or one season, rather. And then maybe, well, but since she was introduced, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to see Bo-Katan pop up one more time. Most likely.
Most likely.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll see more. Maybe we'll see a prequel of some sort. Since we got the actor, maybe he'll reprise his old role as a...
We still do not know. I wish I know her name at the top of my head, but she was in Rebels, but she's a Mandalorian, and she was the last one to have the Darksaber before what's his face took it from her, and now Bo-Katan wants it.
That too. We could have that. There's endless possibilities, and that's probably why they did it, just to have different characters pass on. Because, for example, the whole point of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that there's multiple characters who hold the title of Captain America. It's not just Steve Rogers, obviously, as we can see, that Sam Wilson has the title, but Bucky also gets a shot, and then we have John Walker, who doesn't immediately take it. So canonically wise, in the comics, John Walker does become Captain America, but not really. He becomes the U.S. agent. And in the series, we see that he's immediately taken on the role, but it's a nice nod that we're having the role being passed on to different people. So something like that is probably what we're going to see with all the Mandalorians being the prime focus for each season. So we're going to see something similar to that. And that sounds kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I want to know more. I need to educate myself on the animated series, as I said before. So I'll be touching base with that, and hopefully we'll talk about that next time. We'll have Gross explain a little bit more about all that stuff, and then hopefully we'll see Dominic maybe showcase some of his costumes and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Hopefully got a lightsaber done by then or something. Hopefully.
And then we'll have Joe wear a Yoda hat.
Yeah.
We gotta have that.
Joe.
That's a staple.
I think he's asleep.
No.
He has the power to sleep with his eyes open.
He was literally in hypersleep. He's just like
he's processing everything.
That was my whole expression when I watched the solo movie.
Yeah.
That was my whole that was just me the whole time. I was just like I was just sitting there. I was like, how long is it gonna take until Anthony and Gruber comes out, even though I know he's not gonna come out?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the other guy. Yeah.
The guy who should have been.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're fucked up. I hope they get Anthony and Gruber to be at least Indiana Jones. Just putting that out there.
Oh.
Just putting that out there.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do.
The best one. Get out of here. Time him out. Time him out. Time him out right now. Solo was the best film. Get out of here. Time him out. Time him out. No. My favorite Star Wars.
The question is, what
saw that?
What is your guys' favorite film and why? That's a good question. All you guys.
I'll go first. My favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite film from all of them probably had to be. I think everyone already says this, but Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
It's just so. It's just so awesome to just see Luke come back, and he's like, "What up, bitch?" And he has the green lightsaber. It's like, oh, and then he just like shows up and slices people around the Sarlacc pit. I'm like, oh, it was just so cool to me. And then when he starts fighting Darth Vader, when he goes and confronts Palpatine one more time, and he's just literally walking down the hallway with his dad, and he's like, "My dad," like he's basically processed all of his anger that he had. And then when he fights him, and then he's like, "Do it, kill your father, and take his place at my side." And he's like, he's all sweating. He's like, "No," and he just throws the lightsaber. He's like, "I'm a Jedi," and I'm like, oh, it was just a lot for me to handle as a child. I was like, yes, that is cool. That's a Jedi Knight, because I've always admired knights and like Crusaders when I was younger. So I was like, yes, that shit's awesome. So that is always gonna be my most favorite film from all of the franchise. And obviously, green. It's my favorite fucking color. It's like,
yeah, blue
and green just go so well together. I'm just putting that out there. But green, oh my god, it's just, it's just a lot of fun.
Win-win situation for you.
Exactly.
Green lightsaber, good movie. Yeah, good choice.
Exactly.
All right, how about you guys?
Reinhardt Maniac, exactly. That I am. Catch me streaming Overwatch later this week. I'll play with Justin, and I'll have him heal me. Be my little hoe.
Yeah, let's say my favorite Star Wars movie by far is a lot of people have the same opinion. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Like everything is just like so like perfectly formatted in that movie to be what it is, and it's like so tugging of the heartstrings and so hardcore how it was like played off. Where you saw like beautiful Hayden Christensen with like long hair, where he's like right there in the fighter, where he's like going through with Obi-Wan fighting through like all the droid aerial fights, and then like to see him transition to just like hatred, and like where he just Order 66. That whole scene just made me cry when I was a kid. Like it was just so like you hate to see it, but it had been done, and I just love that even more about it. And then the final fight scene, it was just like the perfect finale.
Totally agree. No, that's no, I definitely agree. That is, in my opinion, that is the best. I mean, there's nothing that can top that film. I mean, honestly, even just movies in general, there's just something about that film that just, I mean, it's very unique to think about. I mean, how many films are out there where it's not a happy ending? I mean, that's one of the few films that really end on a really depressing note. I just remember I just love how evil and dark this movie is. It's just like, they just go, I mean, they go places where it's just evil just the entire time. I love that. It's like,
a lot of it was like them telling Anakin, like, basically, no, like the whole movie they were just basically telling him no, and you just see him derail more into like not excusing his madness, but basically saying he's like, why are they telling me no? Like, why that curiosity?
Yeah.
He's like, if I'm really the chosen one, if I'm the strongest one, like, why don't they want me to be the strongest? Like, why are they holding me back? So that, as character development, that really shows a lot for, at least, not only for the character to be portrayed by an actor, but for the actor to really step it up and like fill that whole emotional space. And he really did a good job on that. Like, I really feel like you saw him, and as corny as the script was, like, you can really see he was pissed like all the time. Like, he was angry and he was just confused and frustrated. So I really like that about him too. Yeah.
I love his angry face. That's the one that's like, man, that's the one thing. It's like, God, every time he does it, it's just like I said, he really displays his emotion really well, and he gets so much hate. It's like, I remember just loving it. But still, he's always been my childhood hero. But I remember he just,
for the script that Hayden Christensen was given, like, he played it off pretty well, as good as he should have been. Like, I couldn't see a better actor than him to play that role.
Nobody else could have done that as well. I know it's like, there was a lot of people, they had talked like, oh yeah, there was rumor of them doing like, I think like Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that was going to be one time. But it's like, and even Paul Walker too, they said at one time, it's like, you're kind of glad that didn't happen. That would have been sad. But yeah, no, he really just, there's something about him. And see, that's the one thing I never understood people didn't like was, I know they always say, oh, he's wood and he's dry. Honestly, I think that adds to, you don't want this like, hey, I am a Sith and I'm getting, like, you don't want him to show all this like emotion. You want him to be kind of just, he's an emo kid. He's kind of just, you know, angry and everything.
And how do you portray, how can you portray something with angst without making it look emo?
Right.
Like, because he's angry. How do you display anger without looking kind of silly? Because majority of the times when characters look like that, they end up looking silly or cartoony. So it's like he played it off really well to be almost as close to an anti-hero without having to be an anti-hero. He wasn't exactly a villain. He was basically just a rebel without a cause. Really, that's what it was.
And that's good. And that's, see, I think I know for sure you're gonna disagree with me on this, Gross, but see, that's what I do not like about the Clone Wars version of Anakin, is I felt they kind of made him almost too, like, they showed too much human emotion. See, I kind of like that they only showed one side of him in the movies, where he was always mad, unless he was, fall in love with Padme. I like that they were showing him angry. They never showed him happy. They never really showed him anything but just being just mad at the world. I think that's what drew me to him, just being young. I was like, wow, this guy's so cool. He doesn't show any emotion. He's just kind of this, like, just, man, if you set this guy off, he's going to kill you pretty much. I thought that kind of made him pretty intimidating. I was like, wow. But when I saw, like, some of the Clone Wars, I'm like, wait, he's all, like, joking and they're, like, having fun, like, going back. I'm like, I know a lot of people say he's good. Like, the guy does a good job, just the voice acting and stuff like that. I really haven't seen the later seasons. But I remember watching some of the clips. I'm going, that's not the Anakin I grew up with. That was just, it just felt like a total, like if it was a character on its own, I'm sure he'd be great. But as an Anakin, I'm going, that just did not seem like the Anakin that, the Anakin that I used to know, So yeah, that's just my opinion. But I know a lot of people, it's kind of, they go back and forth, like Hayden Christensen or Matt Lanter. So it's like, you never know. There's a lot of fans of each. But no, I definitely agree. Revenge of the Sith, top movie for sure. How about you, Joe? What's your favorite?
Last
Rogue
Jedi?
One.
No, Rogue One.
Rogue One
Rogue
is probably
One.
the best,
Okay.
the best movie that came out.
A lot of
recently
people
from all
say
the
Rogue
last
One is by far one of the best Star Wars movies.
Rogue One, just because it kind of fills in like that information of like, well, how did they get? What is it? When was it episode 4? How that started?
Yeah, when
That
Padme
got
Okay,
the-
yeah.
that
It's like a
star.
day or two
Yeah.
before episode 4.
Yeah, so it's just like they film like that whole process there. And it's just completely different characters. You don't know them, so you can't really complain and compare them to anything. It's just a good story overall. Characters seemed interesting for you enough for you to pay attention, and then the remastered, redone ending scene was badass.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
last
That was a
scene
highlight.
was
Oh my God, Vader.
amazing.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, I never felt like, obviously Darth Vader was scary, but Rogue One made Darth Vader scary. Like, the red in his eyes every single time you saw him, I was just like,
How slow
like,
his
damn.
lightsaber activated. Like it was just like, and then like the red glow in that hallway, and then like the fear in the rebels, like you saw it.
and then on
It's
top
like
of that, he
you-
actually like literally walked around and just like threw them around like puppets. Like, it was crazy. Like,
It definitely had a Revenge of the Sith vibe for sure. That one
Yeah.
scene, just that felt like an Anakin, just like the slaughtering, just
Yeah,
especially when
yeah,
he was killing
like
the
when he
Space
was- when he
Federation
was-
and all that.
yeah, when he was also like fighting even Luke, like the way he was just like, the way his lightsaber swings were, because obviously he's older, so seeing the Kane fight between Ben Kenobi and
Yeah.
and Darth Vader, yeah, they're just like poking each other with their walking sticks. Like, obviously they're very rigid, and even with a fighting style, because I pay attention to like little details like that, even with fighting styles, they show that Darth Vader, even though he's slow, like each swing is powerful. So the fact that like at some point he was getting mad at Luke, that he was just like double-handed, sort of like lashing out onto his arm, and that's how he sliced it off. It's like you could see like there was anger, and in that last scene of Rogue One, you could see that anger again. I was just like, oh my god.
After that scene in
And when
Rogue
he
One,
was
it's like,
walking
oh,
down the hallway, the first time when he's like, it's dark and he takes out the lightsaber and they're trying to open the door, literally, the door can't open because he's holding it shut. That's why he's using one hand. I was like, oh, because by the time he walked up to the door opens. I was like, oh, he's holding it closed. That's fucking scary. Like, you
Jeez.
can't-
after that whole scene, it's just like, damn, they should really do an in-depth movie on Darth. Oh,
Just watch 1, 2, and 3.
no, like after, like in that.
Oh, just that.
No,
part.
yeah. No, it's just
Okay.
like, well, when he's Darth Vader, not like before. It's just like more badass. Like, oh wait, that's what the originals were. God damn
Yeah,
it,
Exactly.
redo them.
Yeah.
just redo
This is
just
kinda
everything
off
but
topic.
just
Redo them,
just
new
Darth
cast and
Vader.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is off topic, but I want to ask you, Mark, just going back to that whole Luke and Vader scene.
Yeah.
I know you're not a big fan of anybody evil. You've always been just, very into heroes and the light
Yeah.
side and all that. Were you like at that point where you were talking about when Luke was like really just swinging, just cutting off Vader's arm, kind of showing that anger? Did you get worried as a kid, like, oh, is he going to turn bad? Like, what was your reaction with that? Like, you were probably thinking, oh, my hero's gonna...
Yeah, like in The Empire Strikes Back, when he first fights Vader, Vader is the one who's angry, and like he's like literally being reckless with his swings down the actual like that walkway, and Luke is worried about fucking falling off. Luke is like, huh, fight, oh god, am I gonna fall? And then Vader's just like, I don't give a shit, boy, I'm coming. And then he's just like going straight forward for him, and he's just like, you could see like there's sparks flying and everywhere, like he's mad, like he's gonna beat his son. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, get out of here, because he kind of cares for him still. So that's also a nice thing about that show's character development, as like, yeah, he did all this fucked up shit as Darth Vader, but he still cares about his kids. So when he comes back in Return of the Jedi, and Luke is the one who's angry, and he's like jumping all over the place, and he's like, guess what, Dad? I'm the man now. And he's jumping around, like also doing forceful swings, and then cuts him. That's when he's like, he realizes, you know what? No, like, this is what happened to my dad, and that's why like script-wise, that's why they wrote in Palpatine to speak almost immediately right after Luke hurts his own father, and that's when he was like, you know, do it, finish him, kill your father, and take his place at my side. And that's when he goes like, never. I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. And that's when he throws the lightsaber out, and then, like I was like, yes, heroism at its finest. Yeah.
Yes, heroin.
Yeah, and then when they play the Force theme like during that, I was like, oh, like it was just too much. It's just so righteous. It just feels so good to see that.
Did you ever realize? I don't know. I'm sure you probably looked into it, but did you ever realize the symbolism with Luke's costume in that film? There's one little subtle detail they do. It's kind of interesting. You don't realize it. You're going, oh, that's kind of what they did, because he's wearing all black, right?
Yeah.
In that film. So if you notice, when he's coming back to Endor, like when with Han and Leia just reunited with everybody, it's like an open flap, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like silver.
Costume.
Yeah.
That white is supposed to symbolize, he kind of went, because you're thinking, oh, is he going to be bad? It's all closed up. Then it opens, it's got that white showing.
White,
Still got the good.
Yeah. And
I was wondering if you knew that.
In The Mandalorian, it's replaced by silver, and it's like the belt is like silver too. So instead of having like completely black, it's like a mixture between silver. I was like, oh, I noticed that little detail in The Mandalorian too when he takes off his cloak. I was like, oh, there's no white anymore. It's just silver. Okay, cool.
Wonder why they changed it. That's weird.
Granted, I mean, the Mandalorian takes place like what, 4 years after? Like 4 years after the.
Like 5, I think. Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah,
like
4 or 5 years after Return of Jedi.
Yeah, and one could assume that he was with Grogu for almost a year. So, yeah, so probably like around 4 or 5-ish years. Not too bad for a whole new costume change, but he didn't. I guess he just went for silver instead.
Yeah.
Still kind of nice.
Foxy grandpa now.
Foxy grandpa. Yes. The Mandalorian got a BAFTA award just for that scene specifically. I was like, really? Okay. I mean, like, yeah, with Luke, but like, with CGI was kind of bad, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And also with in that scene in The Mandalorian where he's fighting, he's using a lot of the Force more than he normally does. Because we don't really see much of the Force being used by any of the Jedis aside from throwing shit around, as compared to the Skywalkers, because he literally crushed the robot with his hands, like with the Force. Like, you don't see that. Literally, it's just like a gust of air. That's what they use it for mainly. I've never seen Jedis use it other than that. Usually the only one who did that was Anakin, really, and then now Luke's doing it. So it was pretty dope to see that too, just to see that comparison between the two. But obviously Luke is a good guy, so Anakin's a good guy just with a phase. That's really what it is.
With an edgy personality.
It's not a face, Mom, I promise.
Look at Gross looking like a what? Looking like a good mom. I want Gross to take me around the ring. Oh, Jacob. Jacob's a mod. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Nice. What's up, Jacob?
He says he misses you.
Miss you too, man. Oh, I gotta ask him. Has he seen Empire Strikes Back yet?
Probably not.
Probably hasn't.
That's the one.
He probably saw.
He's busy watching Hunter x Hunter.
He's
busy watching the. He's all like, "Oh yeah, I saw it, but like it said like XXX at the end."
It was only like a 25-minute clip.
He's like, "The Empire Strikes Ass." I don't know why it's labeled like that, but I saw it. It's pretty interesting. R2-D2 is he's quite well endowed.
Yeah. Jeez, he sticks that thing in everything.
No. No wonder when he's crazy, he's like, wow.
Yeah. And he's got to twist it too. Ouch.
Oh, no, it's like a pig.
18 plus, kids.
The opening scene is just sticking my ass, R2.
This is where the fun begins.
No. Oh my god. Well, I believe that's all the time we have for today, gentlemen. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. So once
Thanks
again,
so much for having us.
this is Marco
Anytime.
Polo and Joe 21K from the Dong Squad on our fourth Dong Squad Dongcast podcast. Yeah, very, very, very funny that we have our fourth one be on the 4th of May, which is also Star Wars Day. So thank you so much, gentlemen. We have Mr. Nobile, Dominic Nobile. He is on our story on Instagram, as well as Mr. Jason Gross. Keep up to date with them and give them a little bit of love. Give them a shout out, give them a message, say hi. We like your glasses, we like your hair, so on and so forth. These long-haired cuties. Make sure you give them lots of love, and look forward to seeing them again on our podcast in the near future. Maybe we'll get together at some point around time this next year and have that lightsaber battle that we
Oh yeah.
maybe we'll extend it to the public, and we'll have plenty of people show up and actually duke it out in the water tower near Jason's house. So that'd be pretty cool.
Let's plan for it.
All right. Well, yeah. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us, and thank you for everybody watching us today. Make sure you guys spread our VOD. So this is going to be on our VOD. It's also going to be on our YouTube channel, and we're going to be hopefully putting more content out. And hope to see you guys in the future. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
May the fourth be with you,
May
May the force be with you too.
and also with you.
and in your spirit.